Good morning. So, Dad and I are just leaving. It's not actually morning. It's the middle of the afternoon on Thursday today. Dad and I are just leaving our 360 rain training that we had out here in Illinois, 360 Rain Center. Overload of information, but very, very cool. I'm so excited to get this system set up and running for you guys. We'll talk about it here a little bit more. Either on our way back, I'm going to see, we're getting gas right now. I'm going to see if Dad will share his thoughts on camera here as we're driving. Maybe if I can find a way to prop my phone up and record this. But, man, what a cool thing. So, it's going to be awesome.
Notify you, give as many remote commands as we can to fix things remotely. I would guess, like I've been saying.
All right, so we are just leaving the 360 rain training out in Illinois. What's your initial thoughts, Dad?
I was impressed on how it's built and how the technology behind it.
Right.
And all the sensors that are on it and the systems that are used to control it autonomously.
Yeah, so you guys will see a lot more of this once we actually have it and we're running it and stuff. But if you haven't, and you're not familiar with this system, you didn't see my video back from Farm Science Review in September, just Google 360 Rain and you'll see the system and learn a little bit about how it works and stuff. But essentially we are automating what our hard hose traveler has done in the past. It picks up and lays down the hose and picks it up as it moves through the field, kind of autonomously watering pass by pass across the field. And so today we talked a lot about how to set the planter up, which we've already got our kit on our planner. We did that last week. But how to do some of the measurements and stuff, and best practices when we're planting the field, and how to make sure that we're kind of in the right pattern, which for the way our setup is doesn't really change anything because the 360 Rain is going to do 60 feet at a time, which matches our planter, so that's easy. And then they talked about the app. There's an app for the iPad that basically we can control the entire thing on there. There's cameras we can watch, do some troubleshooting stuff. We got to see that. We talked a little bit about the electrical setup of it with our base station and what we've got to get done there, as well as just kind of an overview of the machine, looking at how it works, how the hose comes off the reel and through the little indexer or whatever they call it that pushes the hose out and controls the speed of it and everything. So there's a lot to take in. We've got a little more setup stuff we've got to do and get figured out with our well and water source. If anybody knows how to motivate a well driller to communicate, let me know. But I think we've got a good plan, and I think it's going to work really well for us. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it from the standpoint of being able to put fertilizer, nitrogen and sulfur in all through the growing season, and the advantage is not having to pump a huge volume of water, and the placement of the water low in the canopy next to the root system, the roots, the plants, I think is a big advantage.
Yeah, there's a lot of advantages to this system over other irrigation type systems. Again, we'll talk a lot more about this summer and stuff, but keeping the foliage dry and not putting water in overhead like we have been should tremendously reduce our disease pressure. That doesn't mean we're going to eliminate fungicide because we're pushing this corn, right? But between that, the fact that we're banding the water in the root zone and not just broadcasting over the entire soil profile, and the big one for us, I think, is the ability to spoon feed the nutrients, whether that's nitrogen and sulfur, maybe some potassium in season, whatever else. We're going to do a pretty intensive tissue testing program, I think, this year to try and track it, and we're going to probably learn a lot more than what we success in the future, but you gotta start somewhere. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm glad we came out here. I think it was a really good day to learn about it and figure it out. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the farm today. Nathan's out in Illinois. If you guys didn't know, him and Mark went out there for a meeting for the 360 Yield Center rain irrigation system that we're getting. It's a field day to kind of teach them how to use it, what all features it has and stuff like that. So he left me and Phil here at the farm, and we made that seed delivery yesterday, and he had to leave yesterday afternoon to go out to Illinois. So he said, Brock, I want 2 things done by the end of, which would be today. 14 seed units, covers, and seed tube brushes, and then the Gator serviced. So I think we can get that done pretty easy. I stayed later than usual yesterday to get more than half of what I needed done. There was 14 left to go. I did 10, can't remember what day it was, but I did 10 that day, that whole wing on the far side of the planter. And then I did 4 from the back there and another 6 there. So we only got 6 to do. And it could take me 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe, but that's it. And then we'll service the Gator. So it shouldn't be a full day of work here today, which that's what I'm hoping, not a full day. But yeah, so that's what we're working on today. The row units, covers, and brush tubes, whatever you want to call them, brush belts, there you go. And then we'll work on the Gator a little bit today. Alrighty, you can't see my face, but I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing here. I had to do it to 24 units on this, and I did it to 24, Nathan did it to 8 on the bean planter. They're a little different than the bean planter, but just pretty much take it all apart. So this is the hook for the door that pops off, putting it in the bucket there to soak. Inside here, there's an inner gasket to seal to the outside cover. You gotta take that off. Right here, this is the double eliminator on this one. There's 2 little prongs to the side. You pinch them and slide it up. It comes off, put it in the bucket. The door comes off itself. And it has a gasket on the inside, right through here. I don't know if you can see it. Take it out because you gotta clean that. So that comes off and goes in the bucket. This, we're not gonna quite put in the bucket yet. We got a couple more things to take off here. This is the top, the lid to the row unit. That goes in the bucket. This right here, it's what directs seed down into, I don't know, where the bowl is. But this is filthy, and it's that way on all of them. This is where the seed hits and dust and treatment gets everywhere. So that goes in the bucket. Now what I have in the bucket here is Dawn dish soap and warm water or hot water. I think letting all those parts soak in warm water helps clean them. It breaks down the dirt and stuff like that. This we will put in the bucket, but see all that treatment right there and dirt? The hose gets a lot of that off, and if I can keep that bucket clean as long as I can, then that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna spray these on the ground and then bring them back up here. So just spray these off. I don't know if you can see it before, but it's clean on the inside. All that dirt's somewhat gone. So we're just gonna put that in the bucket and leave it there for now. Also sprayed this off. I don't want to submerge this in any water due to in here, this bearing and stuff like that. A, it wouldn't clean it, and B, I think it would do more damage than good. So what we're gonna do here is take a brush, put it in the soapy water, and just scrub. There are a couple things that I've noticed. Right through here on the back side, this is where the brush goes. This is where every single seed that this row unit plants goes, it touches. That's stained. We're not gonna clean that 100%. We'll clean it up, but it won't go away. That'll still be blue from the seed treatment, and same thing in here. But we'll get that cleaned up, and then we'll get going on. So we got everything clean here. I scrubbed everything down and then rinsed it off. Now it's just putting it back together. Not really a full-on order that you got to put it in, but the double eliminator, easy to go on. It doesn't ever fall off. Putting it on the middle setting. That's what Nathan told me to put it on. I don't know if that's what he puts it on for corn or just that's where we're going to try it and see where it is. Then this middle gasket here, it goes on again, doesn't come off. Then I put this I don't know what you call it, this back in here, and then put the lid on. Again, doesn't come off. Then the next thing, the lid. I gotta set this off to the side because we gotta put the gasket right here back in the lid, and this has to fit real snug down in a groove that's in the lid here. Can't see it black on black, but line it up, start it in one spot, and you just gotta push hard and work your way all the way around it. You feel it go into place, but yeah, just gotta go all the way around the lid here with the gasket. Make sure it goes all the way in. And I checked this little, no, I think it pushes the seed out of the bowls here, this little spinny thing here. I don't take it out. I think we did last year, but I don't take it out. It's still working. There's not slop in it and not a lot of wear, if any. And then we snap the lid onto the unit, close it up, put the lid latch on it, and that's our row unit put back together. Sorry if you couldn't see it. Not the best at filming. So the next thing we wash is this cover. It goes over the seed tube. The meter sits on top of this. Pretty much just dunk it in water and scrub it off. Pretty easy, pretty simple. It takes about 2 minutes. Last thing we're gonna wash here is the brush belt. Pretty simple. I'm gonna try to go through this pretty fast. But there's these snaps on the side here. You snap it off, the cover comes off. Set that in the bucket for now. That'll be the last thing we wash. Then there's another cover down here at the bottom. This just goes on the bottom side of the belt. Again, small piece, one of the last things we wash. This has a spring in it that puts the tension on it, which we took the tension off last fall. Last spring when we were done planting. But you push that up, it gives you tension to pull the belt off. We really want to look at the belt. We shouldn't see any wear on it as far as replaceable, but just to get an idea of how much wear is going on it, we have had some of these brushes along the side of the belt start coming off, but this one doesn't look too bad at all. It's just a little dirty, so we're gonna spray it off, but we're also gonna take this apart a little bit more and spray it off. Inside, the channel here, if I can get it out. Well, I can take the camera off. We're not gonna put that in water. That's electrical. We don't put anything electrical, but there's these little guards here. We can put those in the water. One down at the bottom as well, metal belt path. And then there's one along here, the long side. We're not gonna take that off. It has 2 tabs on it. I don't wanna bend those back and forth, but we can get it pretty clean. We'll put this on the ground and spray it off. So I got you for a minute here. It cleans up pretty well with water. We're still gonna scrub it down. Like I said, just that light dust was on it. We got a little bit right in there that we scrubbed down. The biggest part that I like to get clean is right there. I don't know if there's grease inside that, but this is where the motor drives the actual belt. So if you turn that, it turns the top pulley here, and that controls the speed of the belt. So there's a mini gearbox in there that, I don't know, some of the oil leaked out and causes the dirt to pile up there, but that's what we need to get clean, and then just brush this down and clean it while we got it out. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll put it back together. So I washed everything and put the metal pieces back in here. When it comes to putting the belt back in, Nathan's pretty particular about the way it comes out is the way it goes in, and I don't blame him. It's probably put that way for a reason, and we're gonna leave it that way. So we work it in, put it in as far as we can, And down here at the end, roll it around this bottom pulley. And pops right into place. This bottom cover we will put on, snap it into place. Now this big one we will leave off. We want air to get to this and dry it out faster, so we just leave it off and set it next to the row unit. But that's one row unit. If I don't do a video, it takes about 20 minutes. So yeah, we got 5 more to go. Well, the time has come. I'm done. Done washing seed units for the year. Not just for this planter, but for the year. We got the bean planter done, now we got the corn planter done. And yeah, 8 of them there, 4 of them back there. And it's kind of tight over here, but 12 of them right there. We are done. So I'll clean up my washing station here and then probably go out to the shed, the green parts drop shed, and see if we got the oil that Nathan ordered yesterday. We needed another quart of oil for the Gator, and then if we got it, then we'll start changing oil in the Gator. Well, like I said, done with the planter for the day. Got the floor cleaned up, and we're on to the next project, which is the Gator. So I brought it in here. We do not have the engine oil. It has not came yet. The parts guy has not come yet, but I was looking at the book and looking at the hours that are on this, seeing what else needs done to it. So we put 94 miles on it this year. Sorry, 94 hours on it with 811 miles. So as far as the 1 year service, you know, engine oil, fuel filter, air filter. But I was looking back through the book to see last time we did a major service, and by major I mean transaxle and 4-wheel drive transfer case, oil change and stuff like that. And that was back in 2021. So that's been 3 years. 200 hours, a little over 200 hours, and 3,000 miles. And looking at the intervals, we haven't hit the hour interval of that, but we have hit the, do it every 24 months or stuff like that. So I don't know if we're gonna do that this year. We don't have the stuff, so I'm not gonna do that yet, but I can change the fuel filter and air filter and grease it. Like I said, we don't have the engine oil, so we're just gonna have to wait on that. It doesn't take long when we do get it, so not a big deal. So here's the reason why we change the filters every single year and not skip a year. This right here is 1 year's use. It is packed compared to the brand new one. So yeah, good thing we're changing this. We're getting the Gator ready to frost seed clover and do just the yearly stuff on it. But yeah, definitely a good thing. Well, I changed my mind. I did get the fuel filter and air filter changed in the Gator, but since we don't have the oil, I can't change the oil. But this thing's filthy. I mean, dirt, 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 and more dirt. It's not terrible outside. It shouldn't take me long, but I think I'm just gonna do a quick once over on this and get it clean. And then we can pull it back in here and let it dry before we have to get under it and change the oil. I'd rather have it clean and dry before we change the oil, and we don't have the oil, so it can sit in here and dry. And then we'll grease it so we can push the water out of the bearings or whatever we're greasing. You know, that's my theory. So we're gonna take it outside and power wash it. Well, got the Gator clean. Oh, clean as it's gonna get right now. Foamed it. It's clean enough. It's just gonna go back out in the field, but our 1 quart of Turf Guard 10W30 came while I was doing that, so we can do the oil change now. I let it run outside for a little bit, but we're gonna get a pan, put it under it, and start draining the oil. Well, change the oil filter in the Gator, and I think we're done. So, change the air filter, change the fuel filter, change the oil filter, change the oil, give it a little quick bath, and that's, other than greasing, gotta grease, but when when I washed it, all that water is just dripping off of it, and to get under it and to undo things, it's just, I'm gonna wait to grease it, or Nathan can grease it, it doesn't matter, it won't take that long. So other than being greased, and if any big service work, if Nathan wants to do any of that this year, then that needs to be done, but other than that, it's ready to go. So I'm gonna write in the book what we did today, and we're done for the day. So see you later. I don't know if Nathan's making a video today, but I'm not gonna be here all next week, but following week I'll be here a lot. So you guys have a good time next week. Give Nathan a hard time, and see you then. See ya.
All right, guys, just dropped Dad off. We made it back from Illinois. So Brock was at the farm today working on the corn planter. He filmed quite a lot, so I don't know how this is gonna work. I think we're gonna have a video, but I didn't post yesterday's video because, well, I just didn't have time to get it done. So that one's gonna post tomorrow. What am I gonna do with this one? We're gonna film again tomorrow. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but you'll see this eventually. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.